Welcome on into the barber shop, man. Let me get this together real quick, man. Let me go ahead and take this down. Here we go. Here we go. Your boy G Bush in the building. Welcome to the barber shop as always. I want to thank everybody for pulling up on me on a Friday. We coming to you Friday. Yesterday we had an event over at Caesars at the Rocket Mortgage Field House. Meet and greet went wonderful, man. Went wonderful. It was brilliant. It was beautiful. People came out to me. Shout out to Evan 419 and the whole family. They came out. Multiple people, so many people to count that came out, showed us love over at the sports book out there. Shout out to them for having us. It was a huge success. I was able to give out a lot of my gear, was able to give out a lot of stuff. I launched, basically it was a soft launch for my cosmetic line. I was able to give some of my stuff out at Bushline Beauty. And so, we'll be talking more about that coming up. But overall, in general, it was a great crowd. We watched the Cavs. Unfortunately, the Cavs lost. But at the end of the day, we got to meet a lot of people. So super excited about what was coming up for us at Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, because I feel that there's a market for us to be out and about touching the people. I feel like that's where the show is the best. I feel like that's what I got into the game for, was to get out and really touch people, really get out and see people and talk to the people face to face. And we got so many hardcore supporters. So I want to thank you guys for pulling up on us and showing us some love last night. So with that being said, we didn't get to the barbershop, so we came back and did it again on Friday, making sure you guys could get that weekend. We got to give you the preview for the Browns versus the Bears coming up. Another pivotal game, another big-time game that we're going to talk about. We'll get to that as well. I got something to do something a little different. Let us know how you like this. I'm going to start doing some clips. I think we have the capabilities of doing some clips. Obviously, we can't do clips from everything because you will get copyrighted. You can't, NFL is real stingy about that. But I think I talk a lot about Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show in this. And a lot of times, a lot of people may have missed the 11-1 show. So some of the points that I come back on here at 3 o'clock with, some of the points I've already said. So I like to give you a little more context. So what I'll do is I'll play some of the clips, a little 2-minute clips. You guys can, go check out the full version of the clip when you get done at your leisure on the UCSS YouTube channel. But I'll give you some context. So I'm going to do a couple clips in here as well. So we'll get to that. I got another big project that I'm unveiling. If you saw my post, I got the dog pound gangsters in here. So I'm excited about this program because, you know me, I'm always trying to be creative. I got the whole team. You see the G Money sweatshirts. Those is on your way out for those people that ordered them for Christmas. You see, we got the Kool-Aid Mafia. We got Paxton the Panda, who has been down since day one. And we got a brand new character for the ladies. I represent the ladies so much. We got a character for you guys. Her name is Honey. She is a honey bear, and that is Paxton's significant other. We got a lot of cool stuff to do with that coming up. Make sure you check that out. I'll kind of break that down coming up in a little bit. But first and foremost, let's get right off into the situation. Browns versus Bears preview. And I just want to say the Browns, they ain't got no time for half-stepping. I'm going to play you a clip earlier from UCSS. Jason Lloyd and Adam the Bull believe that the Browns have an advantage here. I think the Browns have an advantage. I think I'll tell you what I think they're going to do coming up. But first, we got to get to exactly what they think is going to happen in this game, because I think I'm a little more skeptical. I wouldn't say skeptical. I'm a little more on the pessimistic side in terms of coming out here, making sure that we get this thing done, because the Bears don't be playing around.
But I look at the Bears. I think they're a below-average team, a middling team at best. They're okay on defense. They got one or two guys. They're okay on offense. When Justin Fields plays great, they got a chance to win. If he's mediocre or worse, they've got no chance to win. So no. To answer the question, they're not a good team.
Jay, good or bad?
I'm with Bull. I don't think they're a good team at all. They've defensively, they've been better. They've been forcing turnovers the last few weeks. I forget I think it's 11 over the last 3 games or something like that. They've done a nice job of generating turnovers, and obviously that's been a problem for the Browns at times this year. Is giving defenses a short field or giving opponents a short field. So that's one concern.
Aren't they one of the tops in the leagues at giveaways?
Yeah.
So
that's
might be troublesome.
That's the one thing that could level this out.
Yeah.
But if the Browns play a clean game and hold on to the football, I don't have a lot of faith in Justin Fields. I haven't. He hasn't really shown a ton. I think.
You think he's showed improvement this year?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, I think he has. I wouldn't want him as the franchise quarterback of my team.
So
I'm gonna tell you what. I know they're confident. Shout out to Jason Lloyd and Bull. But look, man, Cleveland Browns, they don't got no time for all of that, man. The Cleveland Browns, we'll talk about the injuries coming up here in a moment. But the Cleveland Browns is playing on borrowed time. They playing with guys, the second, third, fourth, fifth tackles is out. You can't come into a game thinking that, hey, am I better than this team? Or do I have more talent than this team? Because to be honest with the Cleveland Browns, yes, their frontier talent is great. Right now, when we start talking about some of the names you guys are going to see this weekend that you're hoping that's going to step up and deliver for you, especially on the defensive side of the ball, these guys are young, green, rookies. And by the way, this is a playoff hunt, right? One of the scariest things in the world is playing against somebody who's fighting for their own future. And the Bears may be bad now, but Justin Fields is a guy who is a top 10 pick in this league. He's been super successful at the college level, but he's fighting for his NFL future. He knows that the Bears have potentially 2 top 5 picks. He understands that fully. And he's been playing much better, relying on his legs, relying on his instincts, and he's been playing much better. Can I add the fact that they just beat the Detroit Lions, in my opinion, who were playing like one of the best 3 teams in the league? The Lions were 9-3, or excuse me, 9-3, 9-4 now, right? They're playing like one of the best teams, and the Bears came in and did what they needed to do and got that win. Justin Fields knows that Caleb Williams, his name is being mentioned as a guy that's going to take his spot. So don't think that he's going to come in here and not be really, really, really motivated to do his thing. On top of that, I look at what Montez Sweat has done. Since bringing Montez Sweat into the fold, their defense is much better, much more pressure. They get more turnovers. He's a pass rushing guy. Yannick Ngakoue is out for this game and probably moving forward some games as well. Up front, he was the other bookend for the Bears. But let me tell you something. And all of these games that we playing right now, there's small room for error. So for me, I look at it and say, by any means necessary, you need to get it done. And we can't look at this team, the Jets, the Bengals, the Texans, any of those teams. Those teams, we are not looking at those as, are we better than them? We're going in there to try to execute and win a football game. And I think that's to Kevin Stefanski's credit. I don't think he'll let them look too far ahead. I don't think Joe Flacco is built that way. I don't think Myles Garrett is built that way. This team has got to the point where they're 8-5 because they think everybody can beat them. And the Browns are in a unique situation. The Browns are a team that could beat any other team, or they could lose to a lot of teams. There's a specific way the Browns have to play, and I kind of rebutted this, and I talked about it a little bit here. I really believed that when you're looking at it, I said, look, well, we better come in and be ready to play. They're 5-8 right now. You take a look at the Cleveland Browns. We're 8-5, right? But guess what? You could have taken the 49ers. That could have been an L. The Colts could have been an L. There's plenty of games that we won by a hair that could have easily went the other way, and we could be 5-8.
Yeah.
When you take a look at what Justin Fields is doing, is he showing more as he's going to be a franchise quarterback? Some would argue that, but one thing he does offer is his legs and his mobility, and that has been shown to hurt the Browns a little bit. DJ Moore, I know, is banged up a little bit. That guy can play football. And you look at Montez Sweat. You talk about people in their defense. Yes, their defense is not great, but look at what he's done. And I know Mikey McNuggets, if he's smart, he'll have a Montez Sweat since stat for us.
Look at the screen, G.
Oh, since, all right, there you go. As you can tell, people was ready to go. They They're a better team defensively, much better team defensively than what they've shown in the beginning. And this game, if you watch the show, I picked this game to come down to a really close game because it just seems like all the Browns games come down to a close game. I still have the Cleveland Browns winning this football game. I still have the Cleveland Browns coming out on top. They're at home. The defense plays different at home. I'm not scared of the Bears. I remember a couple years ago when Myles Garrett had 5 sacks on the same Bears-type squad with Justin Fields. Looked like they were completely didn't know how to throw the ball, didn't know how to block, couldn't do anything. I was there when I saw that. So I still understand that Myles Garrett's defense could be special. However, I just want to get it to the point where we understand that, look, that's not our mindset. We're not looking at paper. We're not looking at how many, with the rosters or the stats. The Cleveland Browns are focused on the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears can come in here and beat you. They've beaten good teams. And for the next few weeks, these is playoff games. These are all playoff games. Because look at the guys below us. Look at how many teams are 7-6. You got the Indianapolis Colts that's still fighting. The Bills are still fighting. You got the Texans that are still fighting. You still got the Denver Broncos who beat you, by the way, are still moving and trying to do something in these divisions. So we don't have no time. We're a game ahead of these guys, not to mention the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Bengals in the division. And everything we have is in front of us. If we can get the Ravens to lose 2 out of the next 4, and we're able to stay undefeated and keep winning, the Browns have an outside shot at getting the number 1 overall seed. So we don't got no time to be looking back and taking our foot off the gas. None whatsoever. Let's get to your guys' comments and commentary coming up. Make sure you hit me up. 96 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's see. DeAndre Black, appreciate you working on break, watching G Bush. I appreciate you, man. Nicole D, all of our starting safeties are out and we're facing Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields is I think he's playing much better than a lot of people give him credit for. I think him scrambling around, especially I'm not worried about him extending plays because I think I said this earlier in the week. I feel like I could get a couple turnovers once he's trying to extend those plays. But the thing I am a little concerned about is the runs, the quarterback, the design runs that are designed to get your defensive ends upfield, and you could get gashed doing that. Gardner Minshew, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, all those guys have pretty good games doing that as well. Is Thornton out officially? Yes. Juan Thornhill officially out. No Juan Thornhill. Also, no Ethan Pochich. No Pochich, no Thornhill. Yeah. Tommy said we did good last week without Juan, and when Delpit went out, so let's do it again. Man, that's the next man up mentality. We'll talk about some of the names I'm expecting to step up. What's up, Albert? I see you out there. Oh, Tommy, we ain't giving up no hope. We ain't giving up what? We about to get this win. we just gonna break down how we go about doing it, right? Terrell Glenn, what's up, man? Just in time for my lunch break. Shout out to G Bush from Seattle. Shout out to Seattle, man. Shout out to y'all out there, man. Marshall. G-ception. Demond says Miles gonna get 4 sacks, so we'll be fine. I hope he get back. He's starting to look a lot better. He's starting to look like the Myles Garrett we know. I like Ward, Newsome, and Emerson. It does look like we will be getting Denzel Ward back. If we get Denzel Ward back, I'm really excited about what they can do as far as locking down, the receivers downfield. So now we only got to worry about stopping. I feel good about that as well. Let's see, my man. What up? Hey, man, Avante 90 for life, man. Shout out to you out there. Shout out to all the people that's moving around on lunch breaks. Shout out to everybody out there that's moving evening shift. I see you out there. Make that money. Bring that cake back home. I see you. And Nicole says, hopefully Denzel can play. I got Denzel playing. I think he's going to do a good job. I got him posted up and doing his thing in this game. So let's get to this. Coming up here in the next segment, I'm going to get to this, man. Browns shouldn't make them. Browns don't make the same mistake twice. You might want to look towards your future and get it done now, or you're going to have to pay later. I'll explain what I'm talking about when we get back. It is G. Bush here on the UCSS YouTube channel. As always, man, let's get to this, man. I want to introduce these characters. Let's introduce these characters right. So we back at it. Let's get right back off into this thing, man. Make sure it's 101 people in here. We thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you know when we come on, and you'll know when all of our shows come on, whether that's Behind the Glass, whether that's Barbershop, whether that's UCS, whether that is the 2-minute warning, our the number one post-game show in the game. Make sure you get that so you'll know. Let's get right back into this. Let's get right back. Nope, we're going to do this one. Yep. I've been out here leading the troops for a long time now. I'm like, why are we waiting to sign Joe Flacco? And my rebuttal to a lot of things are, if you know, Jason says this a lot. Kevin Stefanski got a year left on his deal. Jason feels he's doing a good job. Sign him now, he said. Sign the deal now, right? My thing is this: if you gonna say that with my guy right here, you gonna say that with Stefanski, what more are you going to say for the quarterback that's showing you something? And I'm gonna play you a clip here really quickly. And this is actually, to be truthful, I might just be honest with you. I'm thinking this is more along the lines of, I sign him now. I get it done. And I don't agree with Jay very often on a lot of things, but this one, my guy, I'm actually believing. Let's take a look at this.
I think in the end, Jay, there's no reason to panic. He's 30. He's guy's going to be 39 years old. He's played 2 games.
Wait, what's the panic?
Signing him, giving him guaranteed money for next year based on 2 games when he's 39 years old.
I wouldn't give him 2 years. I would definitely give him next year.
Right.
And
But that's
why.
2.
That's the amount of money that franchises willfully throw away.
But what is the rush here?
Is it the most important position in the sport?
Right, but I don't know. I don't even know if he's going to be good the rest of this year, let alone next year.
We don't. But here's what I can tell you.
Yeah.
Because I asked this question also to my friend. Is he going to be on an NFL roster to start the season next year? He's like, are you paying attention?
Well, what if he falls apart the next couple of weeks?
We have 4 more games to see what could happen.
Why would you?
It's the same reason why would you sign Stefanski to an extension when you don't have to. The clock says you don't have to.
The price
I
today
think here's
is not the
thing.
price tomorrow.
No, that's exactly right. And here's what he said.
You think
he
Joe
said
Flacco's
Browns,
going to get some big contract at 39 years old? No chance.
No, it's not going to be big bull. It's going to be a contract.
It may outpace. Same with Jacoby Brissett. It may outpace what you're
Jacoby
willing to
Brissett
pay.
didn't get paid that much.
What do you got? $8 million.
He got $8 million.
He got $8 million.
Flacco's not even going to get $8 million.
No,
Not getting $8 million.
So what I'm saying
here's
though
what-
is we did not think that
Guys, he's played 2 games.
But what I'm
Exactly.
saying to you
Listen.
is we did not think that
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett was getting $8 million until he played well, and then he got $8 million.
No, he did. Last year, when the offseason started last year, people thought he'd get more than 8
He
million.
got
He'd be a
6
definite
from the
starter.
Browns. The year before, you got 6.
Yeah,
so
well,
it went
that's
up
that
by
much.
2.
That's $2 more million.
Okay.
So I
not
think
a
the
lot.
point is Jacoby Brissett's the perfect example because he's the guy that in the past the league has sort of flushed out by now. So, and I don't mean the distant past. I mean in the recent past.
I don't know that I agree
He's
with
the
that.
kind of guy that, well, look around at the backup quarterbacks that are currently
Well, so
in the
who's
NFL.
the guy who should still be a backup?
Well, I'm not going to get into that because I think
Yeah.
there are a lot of guys that have already been flushed out in the last 5 years that aren't coming back.
Now look, I don't agree with Jay on a lot of things, but listen, he's spot on here. He's spot on. When Bull says, "What's the hurry? What's the rush?" Like, this is business. There is always an expediency to getting things done. And as I so said right there, the price today ain't the price tomorrow. The Cleveland Browns have already been through this. We have a very difficult time in understanding and learning from our mistakes. We are put in a situation this year with our quarterback because we have a lot of invested in Deshawn Watson. We keep saying 230. We keep saying this investment, the 3 first-round picks, all of that. If you're willing to put your organization behind the 8 ball and say, I'm going to risk draft picks, I'm going to risk capital, I'm going to risk time, I'm going to and take heat for it, he's worth, you're saying that's how important the position is, and he is. So my equivalent is, if you feel the quarterback position is so, is so good or so it's so important, why would you not have a valid backup plan for it? I'll go to this. I just bought a home lately. You can't even touch a house unless you got homeowners insurance, and they're gonna make you pay the whole year up front. When you go buy a car, before you drive that car off the lot, whether it's a Honda, whether it's a Ferrari, whatever the case is, when you drive it off and it's in your name and the bank said cool, you got to have insurance that day. Not tomorrow. You got to have insurance that day. You see, in every other place in our life, we understand in business that if something is that valuable and that if we miss that, I have to have something backing me up so that my whole season doesn't tank. Last year, you look at what Jacoby Brissett did, right? The Browns said Jacoby Brissett played the best year of his life, right? People thought he was not going to play that well. Not only did he play the best year of his life, he went and on the open market was given $2 more million to play for another team just to back up a young guy. Now, if the Browns would have known what they've known today and that Deshaun Watson was going to get hurt and DTR was a rookie and they probably shouldn't have gave up on Josh Dobbs and they probably shouldn't have gave up on Jacoby Brissett, why would they make the same mistake this year? Why would you make the same mistake when you got a guy that's already in your building? Every businessman knows that it's cheaper to retain your current employees than to fire and rehire. Everybody knows that. We were all there this year when Deshaun Watson got hurt and they figured out, we probably shouldn't have got rid of Josh Dobbs because DTR is a rookie. Then what did they do? They go out at the trade deadline. What did they do? Picked up the phone, called Washington and say, hey, that guy that we kind of just didn't want because we didn't really think we was going to need him, Jacoby Brissett. How about you trade him back to us because we're in a pinch right now and we don't have we just got PJ Walker and it looks like our team is going to be better than it was and we're trying to win now. And guess what Washington said? Price today ain't the same price it was yesterday. And now I want a 3rd round pick for Jacoby Brissett. And you're going to take this out. What? And the Browns, of course, wisely said, nah, I'm cool on that. So why wouldn't you learn? A bird in the hand is worth 2 in a bush. Learn from what you're doing. Joe actually looks like he's enjoying himself. Kevin Stefanski looks like he's having a little fun. The team is winning. Am I guaranteed Joe Flacco going to throw for 300, 400, 500 yards every game? No, but I do know what the offense is looking like. I do know how people is looking at him, right? I do understand the way this thing looks. And on top of it, DTR can learn from him. Deshaun Watson sure as heck can learn from him. And guess what? He's a good locker room presence overall. And on top of that, you say, what's the hurry? I need Deshaun Watson to wrap his head around that. I need Deshaun Watson to have time to let that soak in. I need him to be able to talk to Joe Flacco and understand, hey, man, I ain't worried about nothing. This ain't no competition. I'm here to add, not take away. So now when we get to the offseason, we ain't got to reacclimate. He could be on the phone with Joe right now. He could be talking to Joe, going through doing film sessions when we get to the playoffs. This is how you prepare for a playoff time. You see what I'm saying? But we saying, listen, I'm about the fierce urgency today. And I have no time saying, what's the rush? The rush is I need to get business done and taken care of so I can put that to bed and keep moving forward. Don't delay what you can do today to tomorrow and have to pay a premium. And you're fooling yourself if you think other teams aren't watching Joe Flacco. Also, I want to say when this comes up, we need to stop predicating what we're doing on other teams and say that we want to be innovators, not imitators. We want to be the dudes in front of the line leading the charge, not the back of the line waiting till people say, oh, well, that's a nice trend. Let's do what they did. No. If I got Joe Flacco in here, he learned in my system, he's a good fit for what I'm doing. Stop. Love yours. J. Cole said it best. Stop looking at everybody else's wife. Stay off Instagram. You stay off all that because guess what's going to happen? It gives you this perception that everything else is better than what you got at the house. No, that's not the way life works. I'm just kicking knowledge. That's why they don't like you, G. Bush. You can't be saying that somebody out here, they just turned you off. Can't be giving all that advice. You're too real. You be talking too much. That's why only 139. Shout out to them 139 that like the real, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to your comments. What are you guys talking about? What y'all talking about over here? Let's get to it. We got a little time. Let's see. Tommy says, I'm more concerned with the O-line than Sweat. Hudson better not screw up. Hudson is out here playing terrible, by the way. I hope he plays better. I don't get on them too much because I know they don't got too much to offer. And plus, I'm enjoying the year. It's crazy. I heard Nick Wilson in 92.3 The Fan talking about it. He's like, yo, this is the most fun I've had watching the team. And to be truthful, I was going into the studio today, and I had butterflies, man, just thinking about the game. I had butterflies thinking about the game. Like, man, I can't remember a time when that was happening. I think the last time was probably 2020, but I really didn't get those type of butterflies until we started to get to the Pittsburgh win in the playoffs, right? And it didn't really seem as much magnitude because there was just this haze over everything. There were no people in the stands. COVID was happening. People had loved ones being sick left and right. So it really wasn't the same feel that it is now. Even now when I turn the game on, my mom is more invested, and I've never seen her this invested in no Browns games. My dad is here. My dad hangs out. They've been just coming up to Cleveland. They ain't live in Canton just to watch the game, like just to have that atmosphere with people in it. So I'm not too mad at it. I just don't want them to mess up. But I do understand it. You're a third, fourth string. TZ says 12-5 is not unobtainable. It is not. 12-5, that's crazy. I can't even imagine I'm saying that. Damn, our starting fullback got to snap the ball. Yeah, you're going to see my man. Nick Harris is in there. Nick Harris is doing his thing. We're hearing DJ Moore is questionable. Adam the Bull said something about this earlier. He had the play-by-play guy of the Chicago Bears on, and he said DJ Moore has been limping around. He's been limping around a little bit. Let me see. Any thought if Browns win the next 2 games, they rest some guys for the playoffs, especially if division is out of reach? You know what? That's a very good question, Marshall. I floated this. We was talking off air in the studio, and I said, do you believe that the Browns are looking at matchups? Do you believe that the Browns know they can't get a first-round bye and they're not going to get home field? Or are they looking at games and counting the schedule game and be like, well, listen, we'd rather play the Dolphins rather than playing Baltimore, right? Or we rather play Baltimore than we rather play the Chiefs in the first round. I don't know if they're looking that deeply. My guess is they're analytically driven. So, yeah, they are looking at all different scenarios. But it boils down to, are you trying to avoid somebody in the first round? If you can't move or drop or go up any spaces and you locked in, I think they will, rest some guys. Because for the Browns, I think at this point, the rest for Myles Garrett is bigger than picking who exactly you're going to play. And if you locked in, say, to the 5th or the 6th, and you know who you're going to play and you can't go up or down, I would rest guys. I think they would. Good question, though. Good question. Oh, y'all funny. Let me see. Y'all funny. Y'all, look, Jay had his Red Bulls in him today. He was fired up. He had that Red Bull in him, bro. He was like, man, he told like 75 stories. He was like, he was getting cats up out of there. Cats was trying to jump in. He was like, block, 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 block. He was getting McNuggets out of here. I like when McNuggets is back there because he be having stuff to say. He got reads. McNuggets be back there waving his paper. Big Cats be like, nah, we about to get this another conversation off. And he be talking, hey, come on. You see me waving this paper? I'm like, McNuggets, you back there look like you fair catching a punt. know, I'm just playing. I love y'all. Man. Everybody know I just be playing. They know what G. Bush do. Come on, man. The reason why I'm sweating about this Flacco contract is he seems to be already committed to Cleveland and probably give the Browns the first look for the new deal for next year. Hey, bro, I listen. I can't operate on that. I'm one of them dudes that remember Carlos Boozer said he was going to give him a deal, and then next thing we know, he all playing for the Utah Jazz. I'm like, what? Did he have an unwritten? Them unwritten deals don't begin. Hey, I'm old enough to remember when LeBron James was at Akron and Physician, and he said he was staying in Cleveland. I got the footage. Everybody heard that. I'm coming. Listen, LeBron got out of that quickly. When he came back to Cleveland, he was like, yeah, I'm staying the whole time. He gave him 4 years. He was like, yeah, I got to go. I ain't waiting on nothing. I'm going to sign him up. Give me that one he got this year and next year. No, he's about to be locked up. I'm going to give him these little millions and keep it pushing. I ain't going to let him go out there. And, he got, hey, honey, they are offering me $9 million. It's a big difference between $9 million and $2 million. Don't let them get there. Let's see. Flacco gonna collect his $4 million to ride off into the sunset with that Super Bowl trophy. Oh man, let's see. Let's go with this. Terrell going. One of the things I like about Stefanski AB is that they learn from their mistakes. They have shown so much growth and makes me optimistic about the way they will do it and handle this thus far. Hey, MS1, I see you. Bush, you talking too much common sense for analytics. Barry signed Conklin, a.k.a. Gonklin. That's another thing, too. I mean, look at my time. We got good time. I'm going to get to another topic here, too. No, I don't like when people try to tell me. See, they try to make it seem like I'm unreasonable. Like I feel like the people, like this is why, I make the comparison all the time. There's people who run on balancing the budget. Listen, bro, that budget ain't never been balanced. Let me tell you that right now. It's out of here. By the time you get up in Congress and look around, you realize that nobody else is voting for those packages to cut nothing because they want to get reelected. You be like, well, I don't know why I'm about to stick my neck out here talking about I'm going to do tax cuts and cut Social Security and all kind of social bill. No, I ain't doing none of that. I'm going to just rail on it and then say, and leave it alone and wait till my 8 years is up and then they can come get to it. It is what it is. It's the same thing with these contracts. I'm not going to sit up here and rail over $4, $5, $6 million when they just gave Jack Conklin money to go chill out. You know he was injured last year. Where was all this financial literacy and competency and conservativeness? You just gave Jed Wills a boatload of money for his 5th-year deal, just signed, sealed, and delivered. He wasn't even playing that well before it was done. We're going to sign that. So I'm not going to be up here. You're not going to catch me up here talking about $4 or $5 million for a backup quarterback when I got Deshawn Watson, who has been suspended for 11 games, only played a handful of games last year, got a shoulder injury. We don't even know if he's going to be thrown over the offseason. No. What? No. I think he's going to come back well. I think he's going to be the guy, but I'm sorry. I need a backup. And I don't understand why we talking about $3 or $4 million over a backup who's playing pretty well for you right now. Hey, offense is looking crisp like it's supposed to. Hey, I'm just saying. Hey, listen, you've been stealing my notes, MS1. You might be an AI. Are you an AI? When they finally figure out that Strong should be running back one, look at this dude. I got to look around. This dude's been copying my notes. Are you on my hard drive? Because, I mean, I've been saying the same thing about Pierre Strong. This is too uncanny. Harold Palmer, Flacco makes it look easy out there right now. Look, they made a mistake and got lucky by getting Joe. The players you have ready to play the Bears. There's a couple errors in that. I think I know what you're saying. They made a mistake and they lucked up and got that Flacco. Don't think you can have that happen the same way. Let's see. All right, KW_outdoors. I see you. Let me see. Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, yeah. Hudson, there's certain things you can learn by injuries, right? And one thing that I did get an opportunity to learn was your boy Hudson is bad. Not only does he have a propensity to hold, he also has a propensity to false start and sometimes get kicked in the teeth when he's trying to block guys on outside zone. Jed Wills is, he's way better than him. Shad. I'm shocked Thornhill is out again. What are you hearing on Ward this weekend? I'm hearing Denzel Ward looks like a go. I ain't really worried about Thornhill. I'm going to keep it real with you. I ain't going to say he's JJ3, but I haven't seen very many plays. I've seen some tough run angles too. I mean, he's been out a lot, but let me be clear. I think Ronnie Hickman's going to do his thing. He's going to do his thing. If Denzel Ward is back, we're going to definitely cook. We're going to definitely cook. All right, let's get to this, man. Let's when we get back, I'm going to let you know some of the names, faces. We got a lot of dudes out. Let's touch down on these injuries a little bit We'll go over the guys. It's almost hard to count who's out and who's not, but we're going to talk about some of the names and faces you might want to get used to. Because guess what? You're going to see some new guys on defense. That might not be a bad thing. It's G. Bush here on the UCSS YouTube channel. So let's get to it, man. When you're getting your haircut, or you're looking for a haircut, if you're in the Cleveland area, or you just want to know a good referral to somebody to go for to the barbershop, get hooked up, go see my man Jason to book an appointment. 216-385-8861. You can also do it online. Get an opportunity to get your personalized slot. It's a family-friendly atmosphere. You can bring your kids in there. You can bring your wife there and have a beauty salon part where she can get her hair done. And that's 11827 Detroit Avenue, Lakewood, Ohio, 44107. Phenomenal barbershop is where I get my haircut. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to get a cut. I'm looking kind of shaggy right now. Jason, come on, bro, do better. I'm going to go hit him up, get my hair cut, and get it ready to go. Don't go out this weekend. Get that fresh cut ready to go right before the game. Jason will hook you up, set your appointment. You ain't got to wait in line. You ain't got to do all those other things. Make sure you go check out Jason in Phenomenal Barbershop and Phenomenal Barbershop, the barbershop of the barbershop. All right, so let's get to this, man. Before we get to this, we got about 13 minutes to go here. 14 minutes before we get up out of here. Make sure you guys are checking out Behind the Glass. Make sure you're checking out coming up Sunday, the most electrifying post-game show, the 2-minute warning. Myself, Mikey McNuggets, Anthony, we've been doing at least 30,000, 40,000 views. Biggest YouTube show, biggest post-game show in the entire game. Bar none. Make sure you check that out. You get that instant reaction, and we'll be doing that. And I always give you a barbershop. See, who's doing that? I give you the Behind the Glass, and then you check out the barbershop. Go to my YouTube channel, and I'll give you another recap. That's the real uncut version. Check it out over there. Let's get to these new faces. Before we get to some of these new faces that I think are going to do something, let's talk about some of the guys that we are missing. So let's get to let's see. As well. Let's continue to go forward, right? Another guy who was hurt, you just heard it this week, my man Grant Delpit. And Grant things that are happening. And we go to it and say, you're losing those guys. What are some of the guys and who are some of the guys that need to step up? One of the first guys that I mentioned is Siaki Ika, third-round draft pick out of Baylor, big-time defensive tackle, run stuffer. He can give you a little bit more in the pass rush. He can push the pocket, collapse the pocket from inside. He showed me more rush than I thought he had, but Siaki Ika is definitely a name that you're going to see more often. He was out there at practice doing some more reps, getting in the shoots, doing his thing. I think he's going to be a guy that you're going to definitely see predominantly on short yardage and rundowns, but Siaki Ika is a name you should know, and I'm excited to see him because he's been a healthy scratch all year. I don't think that really necessarily has to do with the fact that he couldn't get on the field because he was garbage. It's just the fact that that's the strength of your unit. Shelby Harris, Dalvin Tomlinson, Maurice Hurst, Jordan Elliott, who is actually out as well too. He's going to be a guy that can give you some pass rush. So Siaki Ika with those things should be looking to get some playing time. Let's move to Deron Harmon. We talked about it, and they're looking at Grant Delpit. Grant Delpit may be able to come back in a couple games in the playoffs if indeed he's able to do it. On the four games he's going to miss at least. So I put him on IR. So Harmon is a guy who's going to be backing up guys. So you see, for me, Harmon is a guy. Ronnie Hickman is a guy I've always liked. He had 3 interceptions in the preseason Ohio State Buckeye. He's a good athlete, All-American lacrosse guy coming out of high school. I think he really is a ball hawk. I like him. I like him enough to say that I don't really miss the DeJuan Thornhill, right? Rodney McLeod, it was injured for the year a couple of weeks ago. And Thornhill has been in again, out again, in again, out again. And I think Ronnie Hickman is a guy that's going to come in, and you're not going to miss too much. I think he played in big-time football games, played in the Big Ten. You're not going to miss much when it comes to Ronnie Hickman back there in the back seven. Watch for him and Deron Harmon. Another guy I like up front, Isaiah McGuire. Another pick out of the University of Missouri, rush in. He's a guy who you may see moving up. You look like him and Alex Wright are going to be two guys that you look a lot similar, rangy, taller guys. They don't have the explosiveness as Ogbo. They don't have the burst, the bend, the get off. That's why when Ogbo Okoronkwo is a guy that's out for the rest of the season, I believe he had 4.5 sacks on the season, lots of pressures, got his hands on a lot of footballs, tip balls. He does a lot of great things as far as penetration goes. So now you're going to see if Isaiah McGuire can get himself in and ready to go. Look for a lot of Alex Wright, a lot of Isaiah McGuire rush-ins, and then look at Sam Kamara, another name we haven't heard a lot from. But you're going to see those guys rotating in. You can't play Myles Garrett every single game or every single down. You can't play Zadarius Smith, who's banged up a little bit, every single down. So you're not going to have to rotate in Isaiah McGuire, Sam Kamara's, Alex Wright. So you're going to have to, get those guys in because you need a pass rush. But one thing that will help, if you do get Denzel Ward back, what you can do is now you have on that back end, you're giving them more time to get home up front. So they're going to need that. So one thing, I said, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, right? So we got a lot of people took, but it is a blessing to have Denzel Ward back because I think that really pays dividends as well, too. Let's get back to some of your comments here. 33 new chats in here, 155 people in here. Make sure you hit the like button for me. Hit the like button for me. It's free. It's free. If there's 155 people in here, I should at least have 155 views, 55 likes, right? All right, let's get to it. Bring that back up. We don't want to do that. Okay. Bring that up. Let's see. Here we go. Let me see. My man, I don't know, I see it. Undoctrinated. I like that. Indoctrinated. I like that. Don't turn the ball over and you win against Chicago easily at home. That's the formula. Don't throw the ball away. I think, by the way, and this is just a little side to throw out to you guys so you guys know, I think you got Jerome Ford banged up, Kareem Hunt's banged up, 2 tackles. You know what's crazy? is I think down the stretch, Kevin Stefanski feels so good about what Joe Flacco can bring to the table and the fact that he's running the stuff and his skill set, and their like-mindedness comes together, right? Joe Flacco right now is under center, taking about 52% of his snaps out of shotgun, 48% under center. It's the highest of any of the quarterbacks. PJ Walker was 30-something%. DTR was only like 28%. Deshaun Watson was in the 30. But when you look at it, it's 50-50. He's comfortable with him throwing the football and lining up front or center. I think he's going to put some of these games on Joe Flacco's shoulder. He's going to literally say, I think the best plan of action to win this football game is to let Joe Flacco throw 40, 50 times. Just let you know that. It's coming. Do I agree with it all the time? No. But you're going to start to see that truly what Kevin Stefanski wants to do. The run game is something to keep people off kilter. He's never really, to me, he was already showing he's never going to commit to the run, even when you had Nick Chubb. You're going to see with Joe Flacco, he's going to give him every opportunity to throw this football coming down the backstretch, and you're going to get to see. Remember where you heard that from. Stephen Walden says, hope the Browns don't overlook the Bears. Can't afford to do it, Stephen. Can't do it. Lamondre Mosley, Browns Super Bowl bound. You think as crazy as that sounds, and a lot of people try to make fun of you for saying that, take a look at the number of backup quarterbacks playing. Take a look at the teams who don't, when their quarterback went down, they just finished. Take a look at what happened with the come on, Chargers. Y'all got 61 put on y'all? That's crazy. That's crazy. KW Outdoors, G, do we get to see Imani Bates now that Garland is hurt? Please, dear Lord. This is my problem with people. Again, it just makes, sometimes when you're in this business, you just feel like you're in an alternate universe where up is down, down is up, right is wrong, wrong is right. The opposite of what you think have learned of everything about your life in sports is just different when you get to this level, because you start questioning, am I crazy? Am I the only, this is nuts. Imani Bates, and this is my problem with it. I wouldn't have a problem if people were so don't dismissive of the man when it started. But I had people telling me that he wasn't no good and it was a dumb draft pick and he would never make it. People told me, oh, he ain't even going to do nothing in the G League. People told me he don't even have a skill set to hang his hat on. And then I asked these people, did you watch him play? No. I got a problem with that. How you going to tell me? I'm like, well, listen, I watched the kid play high school ball. I watched the kid play at Memphis. I watched him play at Eastern Michigan. I went to a MAC school. I watched it. They're like, nah, I'm going to just make my own opinion up based upon what. And so now you come full circle. We've seen Isaac Okoro does nothing. He's not a lockdown defender. He's not a knockdown shooter. You drafted him number 5. I love the kid. He got a good personality. All that being said, he doesn't bring none of that to the table. You keep trying to tell me in your mind, listen, the kid used to be the number 1 player in high school. Ain't nobody on the Cavs team ever been number 1 ranked in high school. Ever. None of them. So you telling me that you going to play Dean Wade? You're telling me that you're playing Isaac Okoro? You're telling me that you're paying all these dudes over a dude that's getting you 30. And by the way, for all the haters that think that I don't understand what's going on, come on, bro. Well, he plays outside. He plays outside of the framework of an offense. If you watch the Cavs, they don't got no doggone offense. JB sit up there, roll the basketball out, fold his arms, and they play pick and roll the whole doggone game. They don't run plays. They don't run none of that. So where are we? Darius Garland, he plays the same way. Donovan Mitchell, he plays the same way. Have you looked around the league? That's the way people play now. I digress. CKW, I wasn't even going to say nothing about no basketball. I wasn't even going to say nothing. I wasn't even going to say, well, Pee-wee, Pee-wee's burnt pizza. What's up, bro? We chilling. Let's see. Let's get some Big Bills. What's up, man? I see you out here, brother. I see you. Robert Van Pelt. What are your thoughts on Alex Leatherwood? My thoughts on Alex Leatherwood is get ready. I need y'all to be working with him overtime because I can't see James Hudson keep jumping off sides. That's not what we're going to be doing. We can't do it. I ain't got a problem if you just get beat. I don't even got a problem if you get beat and hold somebody. The problem I do have is if you got false starts and pre-snap penalties, not lining up correctly, not understanding where you go, that is unacceptable. That's on you. That's a mental error. That means you're not locked in and not understand what you're supposed to be doing. If it's talent, I ain't going to get mad at you if you get beat up by Montez Sweat. He's a first-round draft pick. He's a damn good rush-in. But I'm going to be mad as hell if you keep giving up 5 yards because you don't know the snap count. What's the final score this week against the Bears? I like that, man. I'm going to go with the Browns 31-17. 31-17. Amber Aiden. I keep getting the feeling that the Browns let the deadline pass in silence because they knew PJ and DTR didn't do right. They were calling Joe Flacco. It's like he was the only quarterback they called to work out. I'll give him credit for that. And sometimes I get mad at Barry sometimes because you could say some of his picks don't hit or the Josh Dobbs thing, like why would you get rid of him, all that good stuff. Here's the thing. Everybody has unique skill sets. One thing you can't deny is that he has the propensity to make good trades, and he picks people up in free agency. You got to give him credit. If you're going to take away from him losing Josh Dobbs, you got to give him credit for having the gumption and the intellect and the wherewithal to go out and get Joe Flacco. Got to give it to him. Let's see. Bush, you went radio silence under enemy lines, my dude. I don't know where was that. I don't know. Oh, I am? Okay. I see you. So we'll figure it out. So you said you're losing audio when you go to full screen. Okay. We'll make sure I'll figure that out. All right, this was at 350. Got you. We can't hear anything when you go full screen. All right. So yeah, we'll see what we do. We'll make sure we can get that out there. We'll make sure we get that. So let me know how you like the video clips. I'll do some more video clips. If you guys like that type of deal, we'll see if we can do that. We'll see if we can fix the audio or whatever. But overall, I'm really excited about this week. I know a lot of people is excited about the Browns right now. I think they go out and get this win, and I think this is going to be one of those wins where you say, okay, signified. I think Joe Flacco does it again. Make sure you record this. Put this on your screensaver. Flaccavelli. Flaccavelli. I think he throws for 3 again. I think he throws for 3. I think Amari Cooper holds the ball onto the ball a little bit more. And Isaiah, yeah, I think he's going to get some touches. I think he's going to get some touches. With that being said, man, make sure you check me out. I'll be on the barbershop tomorrow on the air in Cleveland. You can check me out using the Odyssey app, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. I think we're going to try to get my man Tyvis on there. Obviously, we'll talk about the Browns. We'll get everything squared away, what's going on, get you up to depth with what's going on with the Browns versus Bears. 8 to 12, check me out on the Odyssey app. And coming up this weekend, 2-minute warning, we'll do that as well. You know where to find that. That's on UCSS. With that being said, have a great and happy weekend. And you never know where G. Bush is going to be at. You never know. I'll be all over the place. But one thing you can do is always just listen for the Clippers. Peace.